Hello friends, I am Deepak Balodi and we are going to start a course on electronic devices and circuits as well as on analog electronics, or you can call it linear integrated circuits. See, this course will be oriented for GATE or IES or public sector examinations, for the competitive examinations. So it is specially designed for the GATE syllabus, but you should bear in mind that the course is not very much specific, or it not only covers the aspects of GATE or any competitive exams, but it covers all the essential concepts of EDC and analog electronics, as well as it covers the all in-depth requirement of required knowledge of the courses. So the main approach will be main target will be the problem solving techniques in these courses, but not at the compromise of the concepts. So this whole session will be divided into two major parts, which is electronic devices and circuits as course number 1, and the second one would be analog electronics as course number 2. So in this course of electronic devices and circuits, the major topics which I am going to cover is module 1, or you can call it chapter 1 of semiconductor theory, because the whole electronics or today's modern electronics is based on the utilization of semiconductors. Their versatility is not unknown to anybody. So we have to start with the semiconductor theory. We'll move into some microscopic level understanding of semiconductors. Then we'll come up with the dynamics, the current, density and conduction phenomena of the semiconductor in both the aspects, intrinsic or extrinsic, and that will make a foundation for the upcoming topics. Like the second one would be PN junction diode and its application. PN junction diode is basically the very first device, the backbone of all modern electronic semiconductor devices. So we need to understand it. Again, in this chapter, in this module 2, PN junction diode will be studied in both the fashion at the microscopic level, whatever is happening at the atomic level of semiconductor into the PN junction diode, as well as we'll try to understand its circuital characteristic, the terminal characteristic, IV characteristic, and we'll try to utilize those characteristics into the circuits, mainly non-linear circuits, but we'll also see the concept of linear circuits. So the applications will cover definitely a very popular applications like clipper, clampers, and some miscellaneous applications as well, wave shaping applications. The third topic, as soon as we cover PN junction diode, we are ready to move for the more complex, more complicated, but more powerful semiconductor device of the electronics, that is either a transistor, that is either bipolar transistors or field effect transistors. So there is no hard and fast rule that we should only start with the BJT first and then FET. You can we can start with FET first and then BJT. So both the ways we can go for. But in this plan, I have given preference to BJT, bipolar junction transistors. Then in this again we'll study the internal details, the microscopic phenomena, the atomic phenomena, what is happening inside, and then we'll try to come towards the external or the terminal characteristics of BJT, the current equations, and how to utilize these transistors into the circuits, and for that how to bias them and how to decide the Q points, operating point of them. So these two chapters, BJT and FET, will revolve around the device study, their characteristics, and their DC or Q point analysis. But that will not include any small signal model and their amplifiers. That part actually sets the foundation for analog electronics, so that I'll be covering here. Similarly, the fourth one would be FET. Now, as per the new pattern of GATE, and as per the industrial demand in semiconductor or in electronics, the JFET has been almost omitted. So as I have written a generic name FET, but will be mainly concerned about MOSFET, and will try to skip JFET. If time permits, if it is required, we'll be briefly covering JFET, otherwise we'll mainly focus on MOSFET. So this FET should be understood as MOSFET. Then similarly, as we will be doing in chapter 3rd, we'll study the device characteristic, the IV characteristics, as well as the the terminal characteristic and their DC biasing schemes, their Q point biasing schemes. Then we'll move on to a special class of amplifiers. Basically, we can divide amplifiers into two major classes: large signal and small signal amplifiers. Small signal amplifier, which we can also call as linear amplifier, they set the basis of or the foundation of analog electronic course. So this whole course will revolve around mainly around the small signal and linear amplifiers. So the other class, which is large signal amplifiers, will be covered here and will be finished. So that small section of you can say non-linear or large signal amplifiers will be covered in this section. Power amplifier, namely class A, B, C and D and push-pull, etc. So that will be covering here, which will be relatively a shorter topic as compared to the small signal amplifiers. Then very briefly we'll cover the basics of integrated circuit fabrication or processing technologies. VLSI technology we can also call it, but keep in mind the syllabus of gate or the pattern of gate, we'll try to do justice with this so that we will not be moving into much deep, because this in itself is a very rigorous and very detailed topic, but we'll be trying to cover all the important concepts here which are required for the gate examinations. Then after this, having studied this whole course, we are now ready to start with the linear circuits, analog electronics, linear integrated circuits, or in general integrated circuit design. So by various names we can call this. One thing we should point out here that in most of the literature and in academic books, we generally keep the small signal models and basic amplifier stages just after the transistors, but in my course plan I have not done like this, because I assume and I believe that as soon as we start studying the basic amplifiers or the small signal models, we are basically getting involved with the linear electronics or with the analog electronics. So therefore in my course plan I have kept these two chapters only up to the DC or Q point biasing schemes, and after that modeling and all small signal amplifiers will be studied in this. So the second course would be analog electronics, which I am saying we can also call linear electronics or linear integrated circuits. The very first module or very first chapter would be introduction to amplifier, what are the essential requirements of an ideal amplifier, and we'll mainly focus that high gain or a good gain is not only a sufficient criteria for an ideal amplifier. We have to look on various other properties also to come up with the optimized or one good amplifiers. Then we'll also try to understand what do we understand with linear circuits or linearity in the electronic circuits. The chapter 2 now will be a successor of these two chapters here, these two modules, BJT and FET, and we'll try to formalize, we'll try to understand the small signal models of BJT and MOSFETs, and very quickly after that we'll be moving on to some basic amplifiers, like 3 possible configurations in BJT: common emitter, common collector, common base, as well as the parallel 3 combinations in MOSFET amplifiers, like common source, common drain and common gate. So all those basic amplifiers will be studied here. Their low frequency, I have not divided with the frequency characterization, so the low frequency as well as high frequency, both phenomena will be studied here. So all the details of basic amplifier, transistor based amplifiers will be studied in this chapter. So this may appear as a big chapter or a big module. Then, having studied the basic amplifier stages made by the transistors, now the time will come to understand the problems of those basic amplifiers, and there will be a motivation towards more rigorous, more intelligent, more faithful or more optimum amplifier, which does a justice to all the aspects of an amplifier which we have studied in this chapter 1 or module 1. So therefore we'll set ground for the understanding of an ideal amplifier or an op-amp, operational amplifier. So we'll introduce to operational amplifier at the terminal level only, at the terminal characteristic level, and as soon as we define an ideal op-amp, we have to understand how do we come up to that op-amp and what are the basic integrants or the basic building blocks of the op-amp, namely the very essential one, which is differential amplifier, then current mirrors, active loads and output stages. So a lot of things, but mainly differential amplifier and current mirror. These two things are the backbone of any operational amplifier. And as soon as we cover the basic building blocks of an op-amp, now we have a practical understanding of design of an op-amp. So now we can discuss that an op-amp can never be an ideal amplifier, exactly an ideal amplifier. It might be close to an ideal amplifier, but it is never fulfilling or satisfying all the details of an ideal amplifier. So we'll understand in brief the non-idealities, namely the very popular offset effects, output offset voltage, then input bias currents, slew rate problems and CMRR and all details. So all those things we'll be studying in this. So once we understand op-amp at the block level and at the internal level, now we are ready to utilize the op-amp in the linear circuits, or linear or both non-linear circuits. So, but before that we need to understand that a linear circuit or a better linear circuit is generally obtained by a feedback phenomena at the system level. So without having a clear understanding of feedback, we cannot appreciate the linear phenomena or the advantage of linearity in the system. So we have to understand the feedback amplifiers. This would be a small chapter, a small topic, but it is to be covered because sometimes very logical and theoretical questions are put up in GATE and other public sector examinations. Then as I have said, now we are ready to move for the applications of op-amp. So we'll be looking on to the two types of applications, mainly two types of applications. Like one is linear applications, namely there are very popular applications like inverting and non-inverting amplifiers, which are with feedback, then adder, subtractor, integrator, differentiators and a lot of other miscellaneous applications. Other than that, the filters, active filters are also considered to be the special class of linear circuits made up by op-amp. So that also will be covering. Filters in itself is a great chapter, is a very big topic. So, but we'll try to do justice with this, keeping in mind the scope of the GATE and other public sector examinations. Then having covered linear applications, we'll be moving on to the non-linear applications. Again, we'll be dividing non-linear applications in two major classes. One would be the miscellaneous topics like the multipliers, the log domain circuits, and some peak detectors and rectifiers, precision rectifiers. So these are some miscellaneous topics, but the main appreciation of non-linear phenomena comes when we go for signal generation, when we utilize the positive feedback phenomena and we go for the signal generation like oscillators and square wave generators. So that will be understanding in this chapter. After this, still there are few topics which they do not find any relevant chapter, so their scope is out of these topics, but we can call them mixed signal circuits where the digital and analog both kind of understanding is required. So that those circuits are kept especially in this 7th module. I have called them special IC here, like VCO, PLL, phase lock loop, 555 timer IC and regulators. I have kept regulator here to specify that they come under this umbrella, this topic, but will not study regulator here because I have left one more chapter with me, last module, that would be covering power supply. So a power supply starts from the household supply which we are getting from 220 volts AC, 50 Hertz AC to the supply which is required by most of the intelligent electronic gadgets like mobile phones and laptops and all. So the whole chain will be covered under the topic power supply. Mainly we'll be covering rectifiers, some LC filters, then a regulator. So in this regulator we'll be mainly focusing on two types of regulators. One would be small Zener based regulators. Very tricky questions are generally asked in various examinations from these Zener based regulators. Then we'll also study some IC based regulators, some 7-8 series or 7-9 series based regulators. So those both kind of regulators we'll be understanding in this chapter. So this is the whole course plan. So this is basically, there are two courses like EDC and Analog Electronics AE. Few important points I would like to mention, that if you are going to attend this course, then I would suggest that please do not skip any topic. I'm going to cover each and every topic one by one. So first EDC and then Analog Electronics, and it is required or suggested that you should not skip any topic. If you find yourself comfortable to jump onto some higher topic, then you can go, but otherwise for beginners it is highly recommended that they should follow the continuity, otherwise it might be difficult for you to catch up the pace. And in this particular course, it is each and every topic, the advanced topics are related with their previous covered topics, so it is like a chain. So if you miss some relevant information somewhere in previous class, then you might be confused in the upcoming classes. So it is important to maintain the chain or maintain the regularity here. So each and every session would be around 30 to 40 minutes long, and so that you can keep the pace up. Maybe my tone, my language would be a little bit faster. It may appear a little bit faster for some beginners, but it is all because this is going to be an online course, and anytime you can pause and you can go back and you can cross check with yourself whatever concepts we are dealing with. So with this we'll try definitely to make it very interesting, and we'll have fun. So all the best.